And actually, Naama did a really good job of occupying this natural here and basically fully saturated it, as we do have the full saturation of the the main here. So Naama, I believe Naama saw what was coming on here with these. Yes, he does actually see them. You do see the Marines stimming over here. Is he going to try to snipe these? Yes, he will snipe one medevac. Will he get the second one? Yes, he will get the second one. Meanwhile, these Marines were just tearing into that forest. This tank over here is really punishing those units, and he's punishing his own SCVs at the same time, as Sjow is trying to micro these Marines to do as much damage as possible, but the Marines' lives were, in fact, null and void, as their evac was totally capped off, and there was no hope for escape. As we do have Sjow knocking on the front door, these tanks are desperately trying to make something happen here, as we do have the SCV surrounding, trying to repair these tanks, as these tanks are going to try to get sniped, as we have two more tanks setting up on the high ground here. SCVs acting as meat shields. Once again, not a good place. You don't want to have to use your SCVs as meat shields. However, that's where Naama is right now, trying to keep his SCVs out of harm's way now that he values their life. He's going to be balling them up here in the corner around that mule. We do see the refinery going down. We do see this Raven getting dangerously close right there, as he does actually have a point defense drone up, but the points defense drone is just barely outside of range to really make himself that useful. We do see another one coming down. We do see more units from Sjow coming up here, trying to snipe this tank. Will it get both of them? One of the tanks does not deploy. We see the other tank deploying right there, as Sjow is in full retreat right now, as Naama was barely able to hang on, fighting tooth and nail to keep his natural alive. All the while, though, we did have the other expansion of Naama coming online. So we can take a look at the income tab. We do see a difference in the harvester count now. Naama suffering from the raids of Sjow. Sjow able to keep a 9 harvester advantage now. So Naama trying to get his economy back online, trying to get himself back in the game. Really, he's still in the game, but really put himself in a comfortable position for economic reasons, as we do see the Viking coming over here and is going to cap that Banshee. Yes, the Banshee is just close, barely in time. Will we see a scan come down? Not so sure. Banshee is not fleeing. Not really sure why Naama is not bringing that Banshee back to base and repairing her, as she does cost a good penny, and there's no reason to throw away units to begin with. Either way, we see this Marine palping the other Marine, fighting over the Zelnaga Tower. Which one will go down? We do see the one in the bushes live, as he's killed 2 guys, so this is a sneaky little bugger right here, as he is hiding in the bamboo. I think that's bamboo. I'm not really sure. As we do see a second Marine coming up here and finishing off that one guy. So, playing King of the Hill right there. Sjow, not liking that, is going to roll up here. This one Marine is running for his life, as he does see what's coming. So, Naama doing a good job of saving his individual units, because he does care. He's the caring commander right there. As we do have Sjow really kind of occupying the low ground right here. Moving out, he's feeling comfortable with his positioning, his strength, as we do see armor 1 coming for Sjow, as we do have the attack 1 already for Sjow. Shields just now finishing up for Naama. He does not have attack or armor, which we're 16 minutes in. What are you doing, buddy? You need to have some sort of upgrade. Now, of course, I say that. I don't upgrade all the time. I'm a terrible Starcraft 2 player, but in hindsight, you should be upgrading at this point. You should have already upgraded. I mean, you got to. It's going to make such a difference here, as we're going to have an army of 1-1 units going up against an army of 0-0 units, as this tiny little ball right here isn't going to be enough to stop that individually. And of course, we do have the tanks, which will make some difference. A lot of tanks right here on this ridgeline right there. We do have more tanks. Actually, Naama has a lot of tanks right now. Of course, Sjow doing his job of deploying his tanks, getting some sort of defensive position that he can come back to, as it looks like he's going to try to come up into this expansion right here. As we do have the 2 tanks deploying right here. They will try to snipe these units. Will they get a lot? One Marauder goes down there, as actually all of those units died just about pretty much, as that medevac was lucky to get away with its life. So it really didn't pay off for Sjow right there, as Naama was able to see what was going on. He does have the radar station up, so able to keep a good battlefield awareness and kind of see what Sjow's up to, because Sjow is sitting here knocking on the door. He is playing Big Bad Wolf, as we do see Naama finally bring up weapons level 1, trying to get that research in time. So Naama, maybe he heard me, not really, because this is after the fact, but he is doing a good job and is getting that, so it is going to make such a difference. And we actually see a planetary fortress coming up for Sjow. So Sjow getting his second expansion up online, will be populating it. Looks like Sjow is going to move out with the bulk of his forces here, looks like he wants to take the expansion of Naama, as this does have the most minerals left in it, as the natural will be mined out here in the near future. As we do see Sjow coming up here, he is stimming, running in here. These tanks are deployed, trying to make something happen, as we do have all the tanks of Sjow deploying in return. All these SCVs running away, as all of those tanks just buckled under the force of that massive bio ball. There are a lot of medevacs right here doing a lot of healing as they desperately try to patch up their guys on the ground. All of these Marines are going to be able to drop this orbital command, but it's going to explode over them, and all that debris is going to land on them, and not one of them is going to be hurt by that. Not really sure why that works that way. Of course, you could mad abuse that. Either way, we have the tanks coming down here, raining a volley of shells down on these advancing units of Sjow. Sjow coming in here, sniping these tanks. I do not believe Naama has enough, as we do see more SCVs coming up here, trying to act as a meat shield in front of these tanks. These tanks trying desperately to make something happen here, as we do have the tanks sieging for Sjow. In return, we're going to see an artillery battle here. Will it be enough? Naama doesn't seem to have anything to really respond to that, except for these 3 tanks right here and 3 Marines, as these Marauders are going to pick off one of those Marines right there, going to pick off that medevac. The Marauders did not pick off that medevac at all. That was that Viking right there. But we do see Naama tap out, and Sjow takes the second of these 2 games. So Sjow doing a really good job here of keeping the pressure and just kind of loitering outside of Naama's base, as we did see a nice exchange of the Banshees early on, as, I mean, Sjow just utilized the Banshees. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Sjow didn't utilize the Banshees in this game. He actually went Raven, putting down the point defense, went a couple of Vikings, and had a shit ton of medevacs, as those medevacs saved a lot of lives today. Of course, it was all for naught, as all of those ground forces ended up dying, at least the biological ground forces ended up dying. But Naama taps out. GG's. Was a good game. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up for you like it. Thumbs down for you don't. And of course, becoming a citizen is always free. You can click that subscribe button and blam, you're a citizen of StarCraft Nation. But as always, citizens, stay safe.